Good evening, everyone. How are you tonight? Hope you're out there in the YouTube and Twitch world. Dadman Walking 55. Hope everybody's had a great day today or evening, settling in, whatever the case may be, wherever you may live. Thank you for being here tonight. And if not live, come watch the replay some other time. Enjoy. Going to spend a little bit of time tonight working with the system, doing a little more practicing with things. But while I'm doing that, I plan on showing a few things in my collections that could be of interest to people, especially sci-fi, science fantasy people, and old collector type stuff. Things that we've amassed over the years that managed to somehow survive, be kept, and still around. A few things along the way I might mention that didn't make it. They were kind of unique, you know. Uh, tragedy on those. But hey, welcome and thanks for coming by. Hey Wade, how are you tonight? Thanks for coming by. Good to see you. Yeah, gonna have some neat stuff tonight. I think it's gonna be interesting to show everybody. Um, just give it a couple more minutes. You know, a couple of years ago, I thought that vinyls were gone. There were no way to play records. Um, I had so many records from the '80s and all, and then realized a few years ago that the vinyl came back. The turntables are there that you can play your records on, even from the '80s, and now that stores are selling vinyl again, a little more pricey than what I remember buying in the '80s, but hey, there's nothing like a good vinyl. Yeah, the newer technology has its advantages, but some of us old people really like the old stuff. Then it's also amazing how the records can hold up over time. Uh, they look warped, but generally the ones I have had managed to stay in condition where they could play pretty well. So, I don't know. If you are the chat, do you have any preferences towards vinyl? Do you like vinyl? Have you tried listening to vinyl, or do you prefer CDs and the MP3s and all the other stuff? Feel free to shout it out what you like. But yeah, it's amazing that it's come back, because of all the stuff that I had from back then. It seemed like such a waste to not be able to use that stuff again, play those records. You spent many a night in teenage years listening to them, and just what a waste. They could never play again. But a few years ago on a Black Friday sale, we hit an Ollie's discount outlet and picked up a multi-purpose turntable, radio, blah blah blah, all this stuff for pretty cheap. And so got that, used that. The records played well. Even over the course of 30, 40 years, being out in heat, different things, warpage, they still played well. And the records I'm going to show you tonight, I'm kind of interesting. They still played very well. Well, on that note, as I teased what this was going to be, there's going to be a focus tonight on my collections from sci-fi and science fantasy, because I've been told there's a difference. So, but wherever the categories fall, they may be from a movie and from TV shows. If you're familiar with the TV shows, you know how awesome the theme songs are, and the movie is definitely a number one selection. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and work on sharing the screen here and bringing up the first set of records. And this is the side one of, you got to guess it. If you know who I am, you got to guess Star Wars. The original soundtrack on album, on the LP, on vinyl. And it still plays very, very well to this day. A spot or two drags a little bit, and I think that may be from warpage a little, but for the most part, considering that it's 45 years old and it still plays. It's a great, definitely a great thing to still have in the collections. It had all the soundtracks, starting side one had the main title and the Java crawler. And it actually came in a 2 LP set. So there's actually 4 total sides with this one. So we've got um, side one and side two here. And side two obviously has my favorite song, which is the Cantina Band. One of the most, I tell you, at the time Star Wars came out, that Cantina Band had everybody talking back then. People really had not, even though there had been Star Trek and some other things, but that was really a time when people could not get over the alien creatures. So, what is interesting with this soundtrack is that it also came in an 8-track cassette format. Yes, 8-track. If anybody knows what 8-track is, shout it out. That's the one thing I wish somehow, even if it didn't work to this day, you couldn't play it, just having the 8-track would have been cool to this day. It was like a big cartridge. You just shove it in the thing and then it plays. So, but it had tape, so, subject to breaking, getting eaten up by the machine, that type of stuff, the dangers that come with anytime you use tape, like with a VHS and other machines. So, like I said, this is a 2-record set. You've obviously got side 3 with more of the songs, including like the trash compactor music, where the walls converge. You can see how there's many scuffs and marks on this. You would think that it would not play well, but it truly does play pretty darn well. It's it's just amazing the quality of play considering the age, any type of warpage, and the scuff marks. And this is the worst one of all of them. But believe it or not, that plays. It does not skip. It does not glitch. It does not do anything. It plays. I don't know how, but it does. And it's got The Last Battle in the Throne Room, 2 of the classics, the greatest songs in the movie soundtrack that you had there. So, this one unfortunately did not keep the album covers. I don't even know if I got them with album covers. They came in sheet covers, and that was about it. So, what the album cover actually looks like, I probably have to Google it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but they've survived 45 years and a lot of play and a lot of time and wear over the years. So many nights playing these records, especially this particular side of it, this and the Cantina sides. If anybody's out there that wants to shout out, is there any particular track or music from the Star Wars that you really like? And in this case, the original movie, because we all know about the Imperial March from Empire. But if feel free to shout out along the way if you want to. So that's basically the Star Wars for now. But we might have another surprise later. We'll see what happens. So we'll move on to the next, which is one of my favorite TV shows as a kid growing up. The original Battlestar Galactica TV show. Lauren Green, Dirk Benedict, Richard Hatch, and of course Cassiopeia and Noah's daughter. Yep, that's yeah. Got tripped all of that one. Yeah, the dreams of a young kid. But what was really cool with this is that the cover art with the Centurions, with the Vipers, the Raiders, the base ships. Just look the detail with the art that they had for back then. This is another record that has stood up pretty well. Bought it at a Second and Charles recently, and it still plays very, very well. Good, high quality, and really fun to listen to. Especially the opening theme song, which is one of the greatest opening theme songs in anywhere in TV history. So, and what was good with this album was the back cover art too. Like the LPs are famous for having side A, side B, where a lot of your best songs were on side B, where people didn't really see them. They're on the back side. this had really good back cover art here. That lists each of the songs that of the soundtrack that come in this series here. So it's like I said, it's a great album. It's a great condition, and if you're a collector, really the artwork to me with this was really fascinating. So I know that they rebooted the show, I think the early 2000s, which I watched some of, but which was pretty good. I've got the series, but still, to me, the old school Battlestar Galactica is the favorite that I have. When we'll move on now to this classic, Space 1999, and you can see the Eagle spaceship. It is really a funky title theme song. It's if you get a chance to listen to the title song, it's really cool. It's another album. It plays very well, in great condition for its age. Um, you know, if you like the old TV shows, if you like the old sci-fi, the old science fantasies, there's plenty of stuff out there, and you can find them nowadays. When I saw this, I bought it immediately, like with the Battlestar Galactica, because it was like, hey, you can't pass up on it. It's there, take it, go with it. So it's a series that I plan to get back into watching. I have it on video, but need to watch it again. But like everything else, having enough time in the day to do much of anything is a challenge sometimes. So, and as I'm learning doing stream work, it's like even less time. But hey, if you like what you see, let me just say, if you like what you see, follow on the Twitch side, subscribe on the YouTube side. It helps. And even I'm not into algorithms and all this other stuff right now, but it's always nice to hear back positive feedback. So, and like I said before, we have the side B art pictures. The picture of the eagle landing there, an exterior shot here, and then of course a lounge shot here. But if you've never seen the show, it is definitely worth checking out. And like I said, it is on my list to watch again. So how many different shows you can fall behind on? That's what is hilarious. The waiting list it keeps growing. I don't know about you, but it grows every day. So, well, I'm going to take a little break right here. Just we're going to transition because we saw the Star Wars albums from the movie. We saw 2 TV series: Battlestar Galactica, the original with Lauren Green, and Space 1999. So we're going to look at a couple of little different things that we have right here. Little out of the way, not so straight line music, not so serious. A couple of little fun things here that we collected along the way. And this first one is one that the missus actually had pulled up over the years. The Star Wars Galactic Funk, the disco version. You can see with the art, and really futuristic. Almost looks like a Disney ride with that rocket over there, the around the astro orbiter thing. Which a funny story is, my oldest kid rode it with me when she was really young, and then find out later she hated the ride. I thought she liked it. She rode it because I rode it. It's funny. You got your space helmets, you got futuristic landscape here. So it's a cool album if you get to check it out. Some really kind of funky tunes and funky Star Wars. This is probably my prized collection item here. It is a read-along version, obviously very shortened, of The Empire Strikes Back. This was really targeted to kids. It was a 24-page read-along with the book and record. Although I know that I found one error in it growing up because Darth Vader was not on the Avenger and he was on the Executor. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. It makes it even more special this day and age. But it's another one though that you can see the condition a little tattered on the outside with the book, but the LP normally this size record would be what they called a 45, which was the rotations per minute. You'd have to have a larger round adapter to have it fit. But this record had a 33 and a third design. So it's one of the rare times I've seen a 33 and a third at such a small size. Like I said, usually this was a 45. And you can almost see in the middle the outline where it could have normally been a 45. So, and it still reads perfect to this day. You read along with the page. The narrator would talk about the you think. Let me see here real quick. Welcome in. Hey, Castle. Hey. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. These are really, really cool things that we've got. Hopefully you saw some of the earlier ones too, but yeah, this one is really an awesome one with the read long book, especially this is back 1980 is when Empire was released, so this probably got this around 80, 81. But back then we didn't have cable TV. We didn't have movies being shown all the time. We didn't have maybe the very early days of VHS, but I don't even know if Star Wars was made like that to take home to watch back then. So as a kid, this is what you had to go with and had to listen to keep the memories. Watch the movie, go home. And many times I would just get into this, read along with the book, and when it said you turn the page and follow along as it reads. They did sound effects like the battle on Hoth with the AT-AT walkers. They did a little sound effects with the stomping and the shooting. It really, for its time, was really, really a neat thing they did. And like I said, if you needed a Star Wars fix, you could get it by having something like this. So it's that is quite a bit, quite an old, and like I said, that is probably one of my more prized possessions there because it had a lot of memory. And with this one though, I'm amazed at how each of these have held up in terms of playing quality. I've always liked vinyl. As I said earlier, I would prefer vinyl over anything else. Just the feel of it, it just has a different sound live. But it's passage of time is one of the biggest challenges with it. Because, like I said, I'll go back to another screen since that's the end of the screen. Let's say like in this case with this backside on side 4 of the Star Wars soundtrack, you have damage. See it's dirty, cloudy from wear times, but then these scratches. I do not know where the scratches came from. They may have been there the day I got it. I don't remember, but it does not. In this case, it does not affect the quality of play. So, which at the end of the day is the name of the game. The main important thing is, does it play? Does it play right? And kind of like, will at least play 95%. Like on the TV, old scrambled signals, and you're like just trying to watch through the line to see what you can see. That's all you do. So, oh shoot, Wade, I am so sorry. I just realized I forgot to turn off the emote only thing. Give me 1 second in case you just wanted to say something. Like I said, I'm still working on these things. So, here we go. All right. It's off in case you want to comment. I know I'm about to wrap up still, but oh gosh, I learn tricks and then I don't forget the tricks when I go live. But it's good. Well, thank you, Castle. Glad you could come by. And yeah, they are awesome. They are really, really, really cool. And I'm not sure exactly when you made it in, but the Battlestar Galactica pieces that I had, Um, this this and Space 1999 I just picked up a few weeks ago at a Second and Charles. So I've, like I said, I've always been a fan of the LP, of the vinyl, and I hope it I hope that they can keep making more awesome. Thanks for saying something too. Always love lurkers. So yeah, and you're right. You're right, Castle. The art. That's why I was this like this Battlestar Galactica art was. I mean, it really looked very realistic when you compared it to the show with the details and very high quality. So yeah, so that's that's about it. That's the that's the show and tell for tonight. Um, uh, some good albums in here. I'll be a lookout for more things that I can share. The share show and tells will probably be a random type thing that we have at go from time to time as I come up with things and run across things. But it's always fun to do and share things like this that I find, and hopefully I can do more of that. And we'll definitely do some food too at some point because I love food and always love sharing the food pictures. So. But on that note, I want to say, in case, hello to any of the lurkers and hello to anybody that watches the replay later. Thank you for coming by. Make sure you follow, leave a like or sub. It'll be appreciated for positive feedback. Um, Wade, thank you for being here. Glad to see you again. Castle, as always, glad you got by tonight and appreciate the support. So, and I'm glad y'all enjoyed what you saw. So, well, on that note, I will bid everybody a good night, good sleep, and take care. And I will see you around somewhere, sometime, another time. Good night, all. Bye.